You're crazy. You're crazy, big Lou.
That was not
crazy.
a nice thing to say to me. How dare you? How dare you have fun on SoCal Saturdays?
No way. No fun
Not
here.
what we're trying to do here.
Never.
You hear the music. You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
No, what time is it?
Time for SoCal Saturdays here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. My name's Louie. Thanks for hanging out with us on the program. We're here every Friday at this hour. Looking ahead to the races tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us, as I said. Wherever it is that you're hanging out with us, Barry's in Florida, I'm in Kentucky. We're going to talk about racing in California. We're presented by Amwager, amwager.com. $50 sign-up match right now for any new customers out there. Maybe you're saving your Derby sign-up for another spot, but you want to bet on Southern California racing this week. Go ahead and check out our friends at Amwager, amwager.com. Barry, how are you, man? All right?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. It's Friday. It's hot.
It is Friday.
Summer
like
hot. Yeah.
Yeah, you like that. Yeah.
That means all my limbs work. So, yeah, we're good.
Shout out, Seabass, if you're out there. We love you.
That's
all
my
right,
man.
Let's get after
British
it.
Isles to the hoop. Let's go.
Oh, man. If you're new to the show, Barry and I will share our top three for each race at Santa Anita this weekend. Barry, this is as good a random Saturday card as I can remember since we started doing this show.
Yeah. For not a huge stakes day, yes.
Right.
It's very, very competitive card, big fields, a lot of ways to go. So hopefully we can cash some tickets. We actually did pretty good last week.
Had a really good week last week. Hopefully
Los
keep that
Al,
rolling
you know?
for sure. Los Al didn't hurt us at all. That's exactly right. So we'll get back to the beginning of the new meet here at Santa Anita Park. A couple trips down the hill. Barry doesn't know anything about that, but we
Never seen it.
We will join them in their quest. The American Stakes, of course, on the card as well. I thought as competitive a grade 3 as we've seen in California in quite some time. Again, he's Barry Spears. I'm Louie Rabeau. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. This is our show called the SoCal Saturdays, and so glad that you decided to hang out with us. Steve Unger immediately on here.
My guy.
Grow that Derby bankroll. It's exactly what we're trying to do. Let's
go
with that on the show here. We'll start as we always do with race 1, Barry. Seems like a decent place to start.
No, I like 2. 2s are better.
Okay, we'll move on to race 2. Let me change the graphic here. Race 2. I'm just kidding. All right. Race 1 here at Santa Anita Park is not on the turf, Barry. I'm just kidding. It's on the turf, but it's not in a mile. It's only 6.5 furlongs. Oh, what do we do? $65,000 on the line here. This is state-bred fillies that are 3 years old. Barry starts off the card in the way that we're going to end the card. Very competitive race. Who'd you land on the first?
Yeah, I landed on the 5, Midnight Cowgirl. Getting Edwin Maldonado from Juan Hernandez speaks a lot in this sense here because of the fact I think this horse, they're going to try to go to the lead. Don't see too many horses that Edwin Maldonado rides that come from off the pace. I think they want forward position. I think they'll get it. And I think they'll be also tough to beat here. Hansen does very well. Not Hansen, Mbop, Ryan Hansen. Second off the layoff, he does pretty good. You don't know.
He might be mbopping. You don't know. See,
he might know that song. I would think.
Not a good start to the show.
I would think he knows this.
By the
song.
way, mbop banger. It's a banger. Whatever.
It is.
It's
fire.
It's a banger.
I give him that.
It's a good song. Okay.
I got Hansen hair, but it's in a different sort of thing. But we got the
One
same.
One of us has Hansen hair, and it's Barry. That's right. Oh man. But yes, Ryan Hansen does do this kind of work. You and I have the same horse on top here. I largely agree, Barry, with your analysis there that Edwin Maldonado actually might be a really good fit for this one, right? Let's just go. Let's just get out there and play catch me if you can. So I went 5, 8, and 2 here, Barry. You went 5, 6, and 3. What do you like about 6 horse here?
Yeah, the horse Krista McAuliffe ran pretty good on the turf first time. Probably needed that. Then they ran on the dirt a few times, probably just because those other races didn't fill or might have been a little bit too tough. Gets back to the turf here, removes the blinkers. I think that's a good move. Getting Fresu for Miyadi, they seem to hook up quite a bit, and I think this one might have a shot.
Yeah, 5, 6, and 3 for Barry, 5, 8, and 2 for me. I'll go to the outside here with the 8 horse Melba Montgomery, second time starter. If you followed the show at all, you know I enjoy betting on second time starters. This is one, Barry, that didn't do its running until very late in the race last time, but I like that this one, even though it did end up the track, did a lot of the work that it did later in the race, has since turned in a very good work the other day. And look, get a second timer on the track for me. I'll always take a look. Steve Knapp here in this kind of spot. Not his best, but does hit a 10% in turf sprint, 11% overall on the turf. Is a a sprint kind of trainer, so hopefully can get them home here. 2 for me in the third spot. I'll try Hold That Rainbow. This is a first timer for Carla Gaines, who's not great with first timers, but this one has been working very, very well, and hopeful that Florent Giroux will have this one ready to go on debut. Barry, again, 5, 6, and 3 for Hugh. 3 in here. She's no quant.
Yeah, I thought this horse could actually be a little bit of a fly in the ointment for our 5-horse Midnight Cowgirl. Off slowly last time. They do have an aggressive rider in Kazushi Kimura. So there's a possibility that this horse would want to try to get to the lead as well. But I still think that we're on the right horse in Midnight Cowgirl. But I think She's No Quaint isn't a slouch. Was beaten favorite last time. Should probably get a better trip, get out of the gate, and probably give a better performance this time.
Moving on to race 2, started the early pick 4 here in race 2. An optional 30 awaits better. 6 furlongs on the dirt here, Barry. $30,000 on the line in a starter optional. I'll go first in the even number race here. I'm going to go 5-5 to open the day, Barry. 5, 1, and 3 for me in here. I think this might be the single of the day. Liam Smith in here for Juan Hernandez. Off the bench, or on the bench since just the middle of February, gets back into racing here in April. I think this level makes a lot of sense. Jeff Mullen's not afraid to let horses get claimed, frankly. He's just not. And so is going to drop this horse in for 30. I think he's just looking at this race and going, okay, I can win like a $17,000 purse. I get 30 for the horse that, frankly, we paid 50 for. We got a win last time. We got a check for that. I think Liam Smith drops in here and makes a ton of sense in this kind of company. I went inside after that, Barry, to Kid Dynasty. Kazushi Kimura, I think, is going to be able to ride on Saturday. If he's right, no, because he's suspended 3 days at Keeneland. I think,
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, he'll but he'll move to have it reduced, and they'll move it to 2 days, but they won't do that until after he rides on Saturday or something. Who knows? But I assume he'll be there if he is. This is a horse moving from the $20,000 level up to the 30 here, but the time last time and how this horse simply kicked away, Barry. In other words, if this horse gets, let's say Unbridled Vision next to him doesn't break well, I think this is the kind of horse that can actually get out there. And if this horse gets out there, sky's the limit, frankly. So 5, 1, and 3 for me, Barry, in race 2. I know you landed on the 5 as well. In Liam Smith, is he the single of the early sequence?
Probably. I mean, he's basically an omni-fig horse, where his last 2 races kind of tower over everybody else's. They're not even close. He just needs to get to the front, which I think it will do. I don't think there's going to be too much of an issue here. There's only one horse really to beat in Topalo, and I don't think that horse really truly wants to be on the lead anyway. Right. So I think Liam Smith kind of lays over this field. I thought Tessuto's, I used that horse for second. This horse has been running pretty good races at this level for a while. Got claimed after they won a starter 50 and drops into this spot off the layoff. This makes a lot of sense. This horse should be coming late. I just think that they're kind of up against it because of the fact that there really isn't much speed beyond Liam Smith in this race.
You have Tessuto in the second spot here. I think that one makes a lot of sense. Get back to the dirt here for trainer Jeff Mullins.
Yeah, he definitely should be okay. His turf runs aren't really that good. He's not really a turf horse. I think they were trying to try it because the race fell in a spot where they were ready to run, and he just doesn't like the turf. He was beaten favorite in that starter 50 that he did win. I don't suspect they'll want the lead here, even though they kind of did have it in that race, but much better horses here, and I think they might be off the pace slightly, but not as fast as Liam Smith when it's all said and done.
Barry and I landing 5-5 in the first 2 races, 5-3-7 for Barry in race.
Duncan Robinson.
5, 1, and 3 for me. Is that who you go to? 55 is Duncan Robinson?
Hey.
That's where
we that went. Or Eric Williams again. Couldn't do that. Hey.
This has to be the only horse racing podcast that celebrates Eric Williams. It's got to be.
Obscure NBA players.
It's got to be. Moving on, I promise. To race 3, this is the John Shear. Going down the hill here, Barry, believe it or not. $100,000 on the line. It is for 3-year-old. Shorter field here, smallest of the day, with 5 horses. But Barry, I think, if not a case for all of them, at least for 4 of them in here, where did you land?
Yeah, this was a really tough race. I had a tough time with this one. I landed on the 2, though. Caro Buono. This horse got into a little bit of trouble. You'll see a lot of these horses come out of the Pasadena back in February, and there was a lot of trips in there. The horses that are in here, they all kind of came running sort of late. I thought Caro Buono just didn't get a great trip, had to wait sort of in the stretch, and then started running. With a clear run, that horse probably would have finished just as close as the horse that actually finished second in that race. And Irish Shock, right? Is that how you say that? The one? Yeah. They probably would have finished ahead of that one, and probably ahead of Medici as well. It was a really kind of close finish there. There was a lot of horses finishing fast, but if you look back in Caro Buono's past performances, they didn't embarrass themselves when they lost to Stark Contrast in the Zuma Beach back in October. That horse is very well meant. They're contemplating running in the Derby or a turf race on the Derby undercard.
That horse will be a favorite in the American Turf. You're exactly right.
And that's what I'm getting at. This horse ran pretty good that day. Seems to have improved since then. I like that first run off the bench. I think they're sitting on a good race. It's really just a matter of how they like the downhill turf. Correct. Seems like they'll like it. They ran pretty good at this sort of distance back in France, so we'll give them a shot at a decent price at 8-1.
The other thing I like about Caro Buono is this is a horse that came over from overseas, and a lot of times, Barry, something that I look for in handicapping that I know many other handicappers don't is if the horses are going left or right-handed. This is a horse that won a minor stakes going left-handed, the Prix des Roses at Lyon-Paris. And so I'm not suggesting that Lyon-Paris is the highest of French racing. That's not what I'm doing. But horse did win going left-handed. And frankly, as you said, in the Pasadena last out showed that this horse absolutely belongs in this kind of company. 2, 3, and 5 for you, Barry. I'll go ahead and have you talk about later than planned 9-5 here, Hector Barrios and Phil D'Amato.
Yeah, later than planned was also in that Pasadena and didn't get a great trip either, but they were kind of lagging a little bit, which was concerning. They were really far back, and I don't know how that plays in a race like this where you probably have to get a decent position. This horse ran against Cy-Fair, who was Breeders' Cup winner last year. Didn't fare so great in that race, in the Breeders' Cup Junior Turf, actually. Ran well in the Speakeasy, so it's hard to tell what kind of style is going to be employed with this horse, because in the Baffle, they were kind of up close to the pace and faded a little bit. Then the race after that, they were sort of a dead closer. I think that's more their style, and it might work against them in this spot, but they're definitely formidable, just as good as anybody in here. Honestly, if anyone wins this race, any one of these 5, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I went a slightly different route than you. I took the inside horse here. I'm going to take Irisich, whatever that name is pronounced as, third place finisher there in the aforementioned Pasadena. Didn't love the effort in the Eddie Logan, but I do think we saw enough there with Antonio Fraser. I'm just going to take the closer here, Barry. I know the 1 isn't great usually, but we're only talking about 5 horses. So it's not as though we're going to have a ton of traffic trouble to get over. I'm just going to try this one at 2-1. I'm going to trust Antonio Fraser with the mount once again. Seems to be the one that gets the best out of her when he has the mount, or him, excuse me, in this case. I went to the 5 then on the outside black Track Tiger, MSL Jaramillo rides this one. It is cross-entered at Keeneland. Interested to see where this one ends up, but I imagine it will be right there at San Diego Park. Already won down the hill. Last out, frankly, at the beginning of March as well, in an optional claimer at the $80,000 level. The 111-3 would be a fast time, and frankly should win this race. So Track Tiger coming in the second spot for me, Barry. I know you also had the 3 in the second spot. What do you like here about late? Oh, we already talked about later than planned. It's a bad job of me. But the 5 horse, Track Tiger, is it the experience going down the hill?
No, it's more the speed. I think this race isn't too speedy, but I also think everybody's going to kind of be grouped together with Track Tiger in front. So there obviously are versions of this race where this horse gets loose and kind of finishes everybody off. Beat Sammy Davis last time, who's not that bad of a horse. Couldn't really hang with Greenwich Village, who's proven to be pretty decent out there. So Track Tiger definitely has a shot. I just, I think you got to use this horse in multis, but as a win bet, I would rather go elsewhere.
Middle pick 4 will start in race 4. He's Barry Spears. I'm Louie Rabeau. This is SoCal Saturdays Horse Racing Happy Hour Network. We're presented by Amwager. Go check them out at amwager.com. Got a bunch of great, Barry, I'm sure you've noticed, a bunch of great zero takeout promotions going on right now at Amwager. Just kind of look at where they're going to be around the country. They've been to Keeneland, lots of different places, so make sure you check them out wherever they end up. Race 4 on the card starts the middle pick 4 here. It's an optional claimer, $10,000 starter allowance, essentially 1 mile on the dirt. That is one time around at Santa Anita Park. $21,000 on the line, Barry. We love these races, and once again,
yes, we
get a
do.
nice field of 8 in this one. You and I went similar directions, but to a slightly different on top horse. I landed on the 7 horse here in this one. That is 3. There's a Silver Lining, excuse me. This is one that you and I have seen a couple of times, Barry, trying different things at Santa Anita. But this is a horse that's two wins in 3 seconds in 5 tries at the distance, has won at Santa Anita over the dirt, and that was at the optional 20 level. We get to drop into the optional 10 level because this horse did start at a claiming 16 before, so and frankly at a claiming 8-1 at that level. I just think dropping back into this kind of class for this mare makes a ton of sense. So I will put the 7 on top, and here the 3 horse in here is Love Our Family. Orontes gets the mount here for Gary Stute. Why not? Going for his second win in 2026. One last out with this one. Did JD Racing gets claimed off of that race, right back in at the same level here, Barry. And this is one that in 3 straight races at the either $8,000 or $10,000 level has finished first or second. I think they found what this horse wants to do. I think this level makes a lot of sense for the 3 horse in here. And then I went to the 1. I think I did. She's Splendid for Brendan Galvin. Why not? And Abel Escano. This one was very close in a 16 allowance last time, Barry. Before that, in a 32 allowance. Both of those on the turf, though. So some questions. Getting back to the dirt where this horse has had level at the 6250 level at Los Al, but is going to have to show it over a mile on the dirt. It's never done it before. And so interested to see what She's Splendid does here. 7, 3, and 1 for me, Barry. You went a slightly different direction, but you have one of my horses on top there in Love Our Family.
Yeah, I think this horse just kind of likes this distance, likes this track. They have 6 wins, and all 6 have been at the mile distance.
Good point.
4 of those wins have been at Santa Anita.
Let's go.
Right. Off the claim for Gary Stute. I think this pace might end up being a little bit hot up front. So it sets it up perfectly for Love Our Family, who should be running late. At 6-1, I like this bet right here.
3, 6, and 7 for you. I did not have Ryan's Girl in my handicapping. Why do you?
I think this horse is going to be forwardly placed and ahead of There's a Silver Lining. And that will probably do them a lot of good if they get behind the speed here. And I think a horse like Mystery Cat might have to try to go. Unbridled Scholar has only one way to win, really. And same thing with Rousing Jewel. And I think this pushing the pace that the 6 will do will put them in a pretty good spot. They're just as good as anybody in this race. I know recently after the claim, they did have a race where they had a 82 buyer, which was a little bit uncharacteristic. So I want to put an asterisk next to that one. But clearly the horse has improved off of that claim. There's no American Pharaohs in this race. So I think this horse stands a good chance at a decent price.
Barry, they're in a race number 4, 3, 6, and 7. I went 7, 3, and 1 in race 4. Another 10 claimer there at Santa Anita Park. Pick 6 will start right here. Race 5, $2 traditional pick 6, a $1 pick 3, also available to bettors in a 6.5 furlong state bred sprint on the turf. $65,000 on the line. 3-year-old fillies in this one, Barry. Nice field again for this one. Full field of 9. Sprinting here. You and I went different directions in this one, which I love. because I think if you listen to this show, you know this is the kind of race where Barry and I get very different. I went to the 6 horse on top here in Marla Hooch. I went to high school with a Marla, and I think now she's like a college president or something. No hooch at all. How about that? Deal with it. A little Marla talk. And Barry's muted. So Marla, you don't even get to hear what he says. How about that? But I'll go to Marla Hooch here, a daughter of Ohm. Phil D'Amato trains here. I thought the last 2 efforts made enough sense to put her on top in here. Been working okay. A little bit of time off since February to get a little tighter, get a little sharper. The buyer was moving in the right direction, Barry, the first 2 times out. Armando keeps them out here. The 2 of them don't hit it a huge percentage, but this is the kind of race, that Phil D'Amato wins at 17%. So I'm looking forward to placing them on top. I went to the 8 second, like you did, first timer here for Antonio Garcia. Smaller barn, but they've already got 39 starts this year. Not a huge worker is the Lone Exchange, but I get Juan Hernandez first out for this horse in a field, Barry, where there's not a lot to trust, frankly. This is a tough maiden special weight. Frankly, the field looks a little bit more like a high-level claimer to me. But 6, 8, and 4 for me, Fancy Danzig is another first-timer. I'll give this one a try. For Wayne Baker, 3 wins already on the year here. And this is one, Barry, that frankly has been working a lot faster. And so if there's going to be one that's a workout warrior that brings it to this race, it might just be the 4 in Fancy Danzig for Wayne Baker. Interested in this race for sure. 6, 8, and 4 for me, Barry.
Yeah. So if your friend was named Marla Hooch, would that make you Jimmy Dugan?
It's got to be, right? It's like usually how it works, right?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I hope Marla's doing well. I haven't talked to her in years.
Still will, Angel. But I digress.
7, 8, and 5 for you, Barry.
Yeah, impressionistic. I think this horse, well, first of all, I didn't really like any of the horses that have run already. So that would eliminate the 1, 2, 3 Marla Hooch, the 6 as well.
Oh no, not Marla
Hooch.
So
I kind of got rid of all those horses. I thought Impressionistic was running or working out pretty decently. A lot of steady 4 furlong works. You see a 5 in there in April. And I think that not being close to the pace is probably where you want to be in this race. I think the pace might get a bit hot. You see a lot of fast works by a lot of these horses. They're going to turn them loose. And I think a horse like Impressionistic, getting a heady rider like Jaramillo, he's going to put this horse in the right spot. And I think their workouts and they're fast enough. Leonard Powell, I know his stats first time out aren't huge, especially on the turf. I think he's an offer. But under these circumstances, he's a bit better. The 8 Lone Exchange, I almost put on top. This horse has been, working out kind of lights out.
I'm with you, man.
Getting top rider in Juan Hernandez, Lasix first time. This horse seems to be pretty live and probably will be on the board. I would be surprised if that horse isn't favored come post time. And then I'm going to use the Magic Carpet Ride in the 3rd spot. Another one with slow-ish works. But I think being off the pace makes a lot more sense. Getting Tyler Bays here for Steve Knapp. They hook up well together. And I think this horse might have a little bit of better turf pedigree than some of these.
7, 8, and 5 for Barry. I'll try 6, 8, and 4. Barry and I agreeing on the 8 horse there. In the Lone Exchange, Antonio Garcia and Juan Hernandez connecting on that one. We'll move on to the late pick 5. It begins in race 6 on Saturday at Santa Anita Park. This is SoCal Saturdays. His name's Barry Sears. My name is Louie Rabeau. Thanks for hanging out with us yet again on a Friday ahead of SoCal Saturday there at Santa Anita Park in beautiful Arcadia. We move on to another sprint here. This is a maiden 12-5, 5.5 on the dirt. This is straight bred, Calbred maidens that are 3, 4, and 5 on the filly and mare side, Barry. I really enjoyed this race, actually. I thought this was a fun one. And I went to the far outside for this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the 12 in here. And Barry, do you know how nice it feels to say, I'm going to take the 12 at Santa Anita? Feels pretty good.
Yeah?
Feels pretty good. Yeah,
I don't like that.
Take a 12 now, but it's nice having 12 horses in the single gate.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take the 12 on the outside.
Yeah.
I know you like that part. And actually, I know you're hoping that the 12's a bum. I know you're hoping for that, but can't be a bum in the race unless it's in the race. So I'm just glad the 12's in the race. We'll go with that one here. Bitter Truth. Which
Fair.
is what Barry tells me in every text that he ever sent me. Daughter of Clubhouse Ride. They're, of course, on the Candy Ride groups. Oh, not me, Louie. Very close last time at Santa Anita Park under Emisile Jaramillo, who keeps them out here. I'm just looking for another step forward for the Craig Lewis trainee, and I think this might be the exact spot. I went to the other spot on the on the outside or inside to the far inside. We're dropping from 20 to 12.5 here with Twisted Humor. Edwin Maldonado rides for Jeff Bondi. The two of them, these are the races they win, Barry. And so I'll look for this horse. If it breaks well at all, I think has a very serious chance. Gets a first-timer that's been working at Los Al next to it. Another first-timer in the 3 in Lovely Medallia. If you are debuting at 12.5, usually you don't break well. And so I'm hoping that the one will get out of that gate. Okay, the 7 horse in here is Julia Street. And Barry, a big part of this is just Steve Knapp off the claim. He is so good at putting these horses into spots that make sense. Victor Espinoza picks up the mount here. He's had a pretty good start to the year, man. 6 wins at 42 mounts. It's a 14% clip for him. I'll go ahead and put Julia Street third. I think she's really interesting. You think she's way more interesting.
Yeah, I got her on top. I'm with you. I like Steve Knapp's first off the claim numbers.
So good.
Not to mention this horse is on the drop, has 2 works since the claim. This horse is probably well meant. I doubt we get 10-1 though. Yeah. I think everybody's going to get on that, especially with Victor Espinoza riding. He doesn't ride much, but he rides a lot of live ones, and I think this one might be it. If we do get that 10-1, I might push the chips all in. Then we'll go to the 3, Lovely Medallia. This horse has been training very well and getting better, it seems, each workout. I think they drew pretty well here. Should be formidable in a spot. 10-1. We might get that 10-1 on that horse. And then I also used the 12 Bitter Truth in third. Yeah, I think they're just compromised by the post position, going to be out wide. But you never know. I mean, it's certainly possible.
You might be right.
Especially in a 5.5, if they're able to clear, which I didn't think they can. It's certainly possible, and they're probably going to go for it with Jaramillo aboard. But
have to.
7-2 way outside in a race like this that could be all over the place. Yeah. I really don't want that horse to win. So we put him in third.
7, 3, and 12 for Barry. 12, 1, and 7 for me. 7 and 12, both making our handicapping there. The 1 Twisted Humor making my Loving Medallia makes it for Barry in his top 3. Race 6. Start of the late pick 4. Of course, the late pick 4 starts here in race 7, as does the turf pick 3. And Barry, I think the turf pick 3 is what I'm going to try to play this weekend, because that trio of turf races at the end of the day here, I think, are just
super
beautiful.
Super.
And so that's kiss. The 15% takeout, the $3 minimum, I think will be what I am looking at here over on Saturday. Race 7, as I said, is the American. It's a grade 3, a mile on the turf, 4 and up. And Barry, this is the kind of race, if you follow a circuit, you see on the card and you go, okay, we got some here. Because these are horses that we know, right? They are good horses, and it's at a distance and on a trip that we see a lot, right? We see the mile turf in Santa Anita all the time. We see these horses a lot. It just feels like one of those races where it's like, I know where these puzzle pieces go before I open the box, right? It's one of those for sure. And so I'm a little excited to see where you went. Where did you land in the American this weekend?
Yeah, this was, I think this is a really tough race. It could go a lot of different directions. But I did land on the 6 SEAL team. This horse the form is muddied up quite a bit. So if you go back to this horse's 2024 October 19th race in the Lure, they lost to Sumter that day, and they really got a poor trip from the way outside, but still ran on. That was first off the bench from 2023. Then from there, they ran pretty good races, and I think just a little bit too far in the Seabiscuit and the San Gabriel. So, and they lost to Johannes and Mi Hermano Ramon, who were razor sharp at the time. Then they get to a spot where a more winnable spot in the Thunder Road, and they run pretty good, lose to Potente by 3, but clear everybody else. Then in the Shoemaker, they run good with a bad trip. Yeah, I mean, they just get no room and just didn't get out at 3-1 that day.
Yep.
And even the last race, they were 3 or 4 wide most of the way and just kept going wide. And it was just an unwinnable trip. So you look at their last 4 races have been terrible trips. Get a little post relief here, and the slight stretch out off the layoff, I think that spells to a win at 6-1. You know how I usually tell you, like, horses that I plan on betting really good? SEAL Team is the one.
I think he makes a ton of sense, and especially second off that layoff, man. Right? I mean, last race was almost a full 10 months off, man. I mean, that's tough to do, especially straight down the hill. Like, oh, by the way, come on back, and you're not going flat. What? I mean, like, a horse still showed up like crazy in the San Simeon. So I thought, I agree with you. I think SEAL Team is a prime for a big race. You also agree with me that the 3 in here has a major shot, and that is King of Gosford. Emisile Jaramillo picks up the mount. Flavian Pratt's been aboard the last 4 times. This one did win the Mathis Mile at Santa Anita in December of 24 before winning that Shoemaker Mile in May of 25. Has been off since August, but this, folks, is Phil D'Amato. This is what he does. He brings horses back in these kinds of spots, and I think he's the class of the race. We got the Grade 1 winner here, the 100 speed figure in that race, 1:33.2 for a final time in that Shoemaker Mile is the ultimate Grade 1 mile time. Beat my Armando Ramon, beat Cabo Spirit in that race, is coming back in this spot off of a really disappointing Del Mar Mile. But guess what, man? That horse, he doesn't win high-level races at Del Mar. He wins them at Santa Anita Park, where he is 5 for 7, a second and a third. Give me King of Gosford on top in this race. I know you have him second, Barry. I'm sure you largely agree that, look, the value is obviously with SEAL Team here, but King of Gosford, almost certainly the class of this race.
Yeah. So SEAL Team is the horse to bet. King of Gosford is the horse to beat.
That makes sense.
And should get a great trip. I mean, despite Phil D'Amato's stats off of this kind of layoff, I just personally don't like the layoff. I'm a little bit old school in that way, even though layoffs don't seem to be as hindering as they used to be in the past.
Trainers have gotten very good at managing them. Yes.
Correct. Yes. Way better, because usually before, like in the 90s, early 2000s,
just get back on the track. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But I mean, this isn't the easiest spots either. And that's why I put this horse second. So Almendaris is tough. You know, SEAL Team is definitely tough. Sumter has won a bunch of races as well. So I don't think this is the easiest spot to come off of a layoff like that. I mean, they certainly can win. But I'm going to side with SEAL Team in here. And then in the third spot, I use Captain Chuchi's. There's versions of this race where this horse gets loose on the lead and kind of just runs away with it. Kind of slowly plays it out. But they may get some competition in Genius Jimmy. Not really too sure. But in that case, I think Captain Chuchi's and Florent Giroux can kind of lay off the pace slightly. You can see in their past performances, they lay second quite a bit.
Yes.
And that might be the trip here for them. So they may be a little bit liver than that 10-1 may indicate.
Because Twirling Point's got to go, right?
You would think.
Twirling Point's a horse that in mile and a quarter races tries to get the lead. I mean, why would that horse not try to get the lead here? I'd be stunned. I don't know. I don't know what Blaine Wright's going to say to Ricky Gonzalez, but I mean,
he's got to go
on the
because
inside, he's
going to get shuffled back, right?
Yeah. You can't fall behind Almendaris in this race or King of God. You can't fall behind all those horses. I went 3, 5, and 6, by the way, Barry. The 5 horse in here is Almendaris, and I just, this one's been running in high level races, but this horse just doesn't win at Santa Anita, man. 0 for 7 and just doesn't win at this place. Sort of a classic, more of a distance horse, Barry, in his results line. Not a miler, but more like a mile and a quarter, mile and a half kind of horse. 5 wins and 22 lifetime starts. None of them, by the way, on the dirt at all. And so this horse hasn't won since the Wicker. That was a listed stakes at Del Mar in July last year. I like Almendaris and absolutely can break through here. But I mean, for the value, SEAL Team's the play here. That's why I have sixth. It's not even close, but I'll try 3, 5, and 6 here, Barry. I'll put the class on top. But I think SEAL Team, as you said, man, I think it's the absolute value here. But there's absolutely a world in which Captain Choo-Chees gets a lead. And maybe gets run down at the end, Barry, but then he's in your exacta, right? Then he's in your draw.
That's what we want.
That's exactly what you want. That's exactly right. So, no, an interesting race for sure. I actually think both stakes on the card ended up really solid.
Tough races.
Yeah, they're fun. For sure. All right. Well, that is race 7. Move on to the late pick 3. If you haven't played it out at Santa Anita in a while, boy, do we have good news for you. It is a $3 minimum now with only a 15% takeout. We see payouts consistently, very even chalky payouts in the $400 to $500 range. And so this is one to check out. For sure, $10,000 claimer awaits us in race 8. Start of that late pick 3 there at Santa Anita Park on Saturday. It's SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour. He's Barry and I'm Louie. Thanks for hanging out with us yet again on the show, Barry. 10K to be in this one. And I went 7, 9, and 3 in race 8 to kick off the late sequence. By the way, you and I, very different in the late sequence on top. I like that. But I'm going to try Bandolero here. I'm going to draw a line through the last effort and get back to that maiden 20 win. 2 back. This is one that also had the lead for a while in a maiden run at Los Al back in the Peter Urton barn. Has been in the Steve Knapp barn now. I did not love the effort last time. That horse was just completely empty, Barry. I'm going to act like that race didn't even happen and just go back to what we saw 2 back. I think this horse can get back to that. I think the 12 to 1's insane in here. So I'll ride that kind of number. The 9 horse on the outside, White Mountain, makes a lot of sense here. Don't love the post position, Barry, but I think it can take advantage of the class level. Was really close last time under Escobedo. Gets Tyler Bays here. I don't know if that's an improved, but he and Ryan Hansen should be able to pick this one off. And then I went to the 3 horse. Near the inside in Audible Silence. If this one hits, buddy, we're in good shape. One at the maiden 12-5 level, and they sort of just slid this horse down the ranks until they found the right spot. Almost hit in 8,000 ranks. Almost hit in the 20. Comes in, wins at the 12-5. I think can run that race again. What I like about how that horse ran last time, Barry, it was willing to be the pace. It was willing to be right up front. 139 isn't going to knock anyone's socks off, but it was fast enough at those clips to wear everybody else down. Goes ahead and wins there. So I will go with those 3 in this one, Barry. 7, 9, and 3. 2, 8, and 9 for you. What do you like about the 2 horse here?
Yeah, Irish Element. Getting Jaramillo back after Antonio Fresu rode last time, going a mile in a restricted race just like this. They dropped down slightly after breaking their maiden in a state bred 12,500 event. Seems to be improving slightly. And just enough to kind of get a good trip here behind Typhoon Tommy and a couple others that will be probably scrimmaging up front.
2, 8, and 9 for you, Barry. That means you've got the 8 horse in here. I do not have that one in mind either. Macho Man, last seen winning at Indiana in August of 24. What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, this horse came off the layoff running at a higher level, but was running faster than they were before they were on that layoff. So I think that's encouraging, even though they kind of drop into this spot. Blinkers go on, getting Orantes. I think they're going to step on the gas and try to get good position to score here, because this race is kind of strange because a lot of these horses are very inconsistent, other than Typhoon Tommy as far as getting to the front. So you'll see them in the front at times and not. So my guess is when they are feeling good, they're going to try to go to the front, and they may be doing that here with Macho Man. And I think they might be able to hold on. Those last 2 speed figures fit well with everybody else.
Race 9 starts the late double there at Santa Anita Park tomorrow. SoCal Saturdays on the Horse Racing Happy Hour Network. My name is Louie Rabeau, hanging out with Barry Spears. Of course, we move on to race 9 at Santa Anita Park. Beginning of the late double, a $5 minimum on the late double, another 15% takeout. Leg 2 of the turf pick 3. Going down the hill again, Barry, allegedly 6.5 down the hill for 60,000, 67,000.
It's a myth. I don't believe it happens.
I agree with you. 3 and up on the filly and mare side for non-twos. Barry, odd number race. You're an odd fellow. Where'd you land?
I landed on number 9, Tequila and Therapy. Ooh, I don't know. Doesn't sound good. I mean,
Doesn't it?
Some people would say, yeah, that sounds great, but
therapy,
I don't know about
then
that.
tequila? Is that the name of the daughter? Is that what we're gonna do eventually? Is like the kid comes in as therapy, then
That would be
tequila?
funny.
Anyways, okay, yeah, right.
But
I'll really drink
this race is sort of odd. It really gave me a lot of fits because all these horses kind of look the same.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought that the races down the hill that Tequila and Therapy had were just as good as most of these, and they're kind of dropping in a little bit, and they may have a slight class edge against the rest of these horses. There's a lot of overseas types that don't really get out of the gate well. And I think if this one can get position early, which I think they're going to want to do with Edwin Maldonado aboard, you see he rode this horse to their only win or one of their wins way back in November 2024. So it's been a long time between drinks for a lot of these horses, but I think this is one of those ones where if you can get the trip, you can win this race no matter what your speed figures look like. If you can position your horse, you might be okay. And I think the 9 can do that.
9, 7, and 5 for Barry. I went to the 3 horse on top in this one, Barry. It's largely for what you said. They all kind of look the same, except this horse has won down the hill. And this one did it in 112 and change. All of the other races down the hill that you just mentioned for the 9 horse came in Stakes Company. They were a full second slower. So I'm interested to see if this one can't get back to that form and do it again. She really seemed to enjoy going down the hill. The aforementioned Victor Espinosa keeps the mount here for Wayne Baker, who I'm hoping will win at least 2 races on this card. And another daughter of Dancing Candy here. I mean, this just seems to be what she's good at. They tried her in a 25 claim or 2 back. They move her up to this level. Last time she qualifies again, Barry, because she's won at that much lower level before. I mean, this is one that's been, I think Fresno was one of her best wins, that kind of thing, that she was essentially on the Northern California circuit. She gets down here to Southern California and just has absolutely exploded since October. It's good to see, but she's 2 for 2 this year, and I'm going to try to ride it again with Mars Magic. Maybe she can make it 3 for 3. I went 3, 6, and 2 here, Barry. I'll describe the 6 horse, throw back to you in just a second. You mentioned those British and English and Irish and Euro horses not getting out of the gate. I'm going to try some Euro horses. So the 6 horse in here is Betty Davis Eyes. Neil Drysdale trained first time in North America, first time with this trainer. All those stats suck. You know what else sucks, Barry? This field. And so I think this one's got a chance, having gone left-handed and won at Nottingham. Tried Newmarket last time at a much higher level. Didn't work. Bring this one over to the Drysdale barn. I think makes a lot of sense to try this course first. Has been working okay on the Tapeta, so I'll go to Betty Davis Eyes. You went 9, 7, and 5 here, though. The 7 horse is Marion Cross.
Yeah, speed. I think there's not much signed on here. Your horse, Mars Magic, doesn't really want to be part of the pace. They want to target. And then you go through the field and look at everybody else. They're not really trying to get out of the gate. And I think Marion Cross might have an advantage there. Obviously, Jaramillo is going to push the button and go. You see some races back there. The Senator Ken Maddie ran against Queen Maxima, who's very, very good, and a few other horses that they faced previously. This is sort of a drop. I mean, if you look at all those foreign horses, none of those horses were running at this sort of level. Maybe the 5, maybe. But still, they weren't being bet, and there was a lot going on in those races. And you'll see in those past performances, even though I did pick this horse, you'll see a lot is like towards the rear, raced behind, slowly away. Those aren't good comments for horses that need to get out of the gate and get position. Same thing with the 4. Trouble start, dwelt start. 3 out of their 4 races so far, they failed to get out of the gate. So to me, that shows that whoever kind of gets to the front and is the controlling pace might be the horse to beat. And that looks to me like the 7. Although I have the 9 on top, I think they're going to both get good trips here.
Marion Cross trained by Dan Blacker, the aforementioned MSIL. Jaramillo gets the mount here. This is one that we've seen in Stakes Company. We've seen sprinting on flat ground. We'll try the hill. It looks like for the first time, Barry. So interested to see how this one takes to the hill. I went a slightly different direction, of course, 3, 6. And the 2 horse here, another Euro starter. I'm going to try Yoga Master, second time starter in the United States. altered in early. If this one starts straight line, I think it'll do a little bit better. I like the idea of switching it up for Leonard Powell and moving down the hill with this one. He's off to a really good start, by the way, as Leonard Powell, 12 wins already on the year. So interested to see that one. In the third spot, we move on to the nightcap. That'll be race 10 at Santa Anita Park on Saturday. SoCal Saturdays presented by our friends at Amwager. My name's Louie, and his name is Barry. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're here every Friday at this time. We'd love to have you back next week. A maiden special weight, $65,000 awaits us in the finale. Barry, 6 furlongs on the turf. This is for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Open company. You don't have to be a Calbred for this one. Nice mix of horses that have seen the track before, Barry, and first-timers in here as well. You and I actually landed on the same horse, which I'm a little surprised at. But the 9-horse, Bright Eye Bungle, which is what we probably should name the podcast.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Second timer in North America, did almost break his maiden in a maiden for age in December back at Dundalk. Has been very good in both of his runs. Gets Lasix again here, drops a little bit of weight. And gets Hector Barrios sprinting, which I really like running here for Phil D'Amato. I know you agree on the 9 here.
Yeah. Normally I would not like a horse like this because of the fact you see that there are 2 races you can see in the past performances, slow early, off slow, lacked room, bumps in the stretch. Those were not good trips, either one of them. They finished second over in Ireland in Dundalk in a 14-horse field.
Yep.
And then ran a bang-up race here as the beaten favorite March 15th. But the idea, and it looks like on paper that all these horses are going to step on the gas. At least one of the Bafferts will. Yes. You have Legal Air, who's shown some zip. The 1 has some pretty fast works. The 2 has some pretty fast works. The 3's gone to the lead last time and probably will need to be forwardly placed, and they'll push the pace. So starting slowly might not be the worst thing in the world in a race like this.
Got it.
And this horse does have some run, finishes well. I think everything lines up, but I'm just afraid this horse is going to go favored in this race.
9, 4, and 6 for Barry. You and I both have the 4 in our handicapping. Barry, why don't you talk about Kelsey?
Yeah, Kelsey, it was really splitting hairs between Kelsey and McGregor. Obviously, I'm going to most of the time go with the higher price, but this horse has been training steadily for a longer period of time. If you look at McGregor, they had a workout on January 23rd, and then the next published work was February 23rd, and it was a really good one. But Kelsey, on the other hand, has been training steadily through February into March, and they may have a little bit of a foundation, a little bit more than McGregor at this point. Although McGregor, at least what it looks like and the way that Bob's been handling this horse in the morning, that one, it seems like he thinks might be more talented. But we'll see. I tend to think that the physicality and building these younger horses up makes more of a difference at this point of the year than talent. So we're going to use Kelsey instead of McGregor.
I'm going to put out something into the ether that's a little different on your thoughts about McGregor and Kelsey being treated differently in the mornings.
Sure.
Kelsey is a ridgeling. McGregor's intact.
There
when
we're
talking about making stallions, you're going to treat them a little bit differently. If you want them to run
Sure.
races and run for a long time, you're going to look at Kelsey as a very different type of runner than you are one that you might be trying to move to the breeding shed at some point in the next couple of years. And so I think some of those things come into play with it as well. Are you surprised to see McGregor on the turf to debut?
Yes, very much so. There's plenty of spots on the dirt. I don't know. Maybe there's something he's seen. I know Bob has been kind of dabbling more with turf horses lately, within the past year or so. And he's had some good ones.
And to be fair, how many 3-year-old specific maidens are there out in California right now? I mean, this is one of the things he talks about when he talks about moving, some of his horses east of the Rockies. I imagine it's for races like this, man.
So, I mean, a $950,000 purchase, you would think they're going to get the surface right first time.
You would hope. Yep. And Son of McKinsey, dude, I'm just surprised.
I am surprised. It doesn't scream like turf pedigree, but the horse might have a saucer foot.
I'm sure Bob would echo the sentiments of Brad Cox on Blood Horse Monday a couple weeks ago. Hey, Louie, how about you stick to radio and I'll stick to training horses?
There you go.
Top 10 moment of my life. 9, 10, and 4 for me. Fan base is a first timer on the outside. For our guy, Tim Yakteen hits at 10% with first timers. And by the way, his first timers don't pay for bleep, which is a sign that they're very good, by the way. So that's what I'll go with. 9, 10, and 4 here for me. It's Son of American Pharaoh, 3-year-old gelded son at least. That last work, Barry. Woo, doggy. Give me all of that. Getting out of the gate. Yep, get me out of the gate. Let's go.
Well, Tim Yakteen, that's his calling card right there. Yep. I just want to see a run out of this one first. Sure. I would like that horse second time out, especially with this tough post. They might be up against it. That's why I kind of, if there was a fourth horse that we picked, fan base would be the fourth horse.
There you go. All right, easy enough. Well, he's Barry and I am Louie. Barry, what are you doing this weekend? What kind of like ridiculous Florida stuff are you doing?
You want to hear one thing I'm doing is on Saturday at Santa Anita, I'm going to play the early Duncan Robinson double. Then we got the middle Mario Lemieux double, the 7 and 7. And then we're going to go with the Wayne Gretzky 99.
Shout out going Lemieux, Gretzky. Let's go.
Hey, I know that. Hey, this goes back.
How dare you? By the way, no. Hang on. We got a problem on the show. How dare you put Duncan Robinson in the same class as Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux? It's a bad shot by you.
Well, I could have said Bill Lambier, right? But that wouldn't have been good either. So.
Oh man. I'm looking it up. We got the music play, but I'm looking it up. Best 55s in NBA history.
Oof. Not many.
I mean, it's Dikembe, isn't it?
Yeah, easily.
All right, I'll go with Dikembe.
But he's too obvious, so, going obscure guys. Kiki Vandeweghe's beast.
Yeah, beast.
The big is. People. Yeah, but those is people. Kiki's people.
He's Barry, I'm Louie. Be nice to Kiki. We'll see you next week.